Domestic break-ins in Australia have approximately doubled in the past 10 years, and criminologist Dr. Paul Wilson says it's time we took some defensive action. Please welcome Paul to our show once again. Good to have you here, Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Why the increase in crime?
Well, there's drugs. We didn't have that many years ago, and of course there's a lot of youth unemployment, but I think the third thing is that there are a lot more things to steal in homes. There are video recorders and TV sets and electronic appliances, so a lot of people take the opportunity of seeing houses open, doors open, windows open, and just go in and take things.
What do we need to do about it? What can we do about it?
Well, I think ordinary people can do some pretty sensible, ordinary things. I mean, just leaving doors open, it's the Australian way. We're a fairly open country, but it also opens the way for others to go in. Leaving doors open, windows open, leaving newspapers out when you go away, leaving rubbish tins out, all those things, if we want to stop breaking and entering, we should stop doing that. But the second thing I think we have to do, Bert, is to buy some simple locks. Deadlocks, they're very cheap. Locks for windows, electronic devices from electronic shops are very, very cheap now, easy to install, and they act as a deterrent, I think, to people who are just going to take the opportunity and go in and rob your goods. It's pretty horrible, actually, being robbed. I've been robbed twice. I don't know.
Really?
Have you? Or
no, I haven't, no.
It's like being violated psychologically. It's a wee bit, women tell me it's a bit like being raped. But the other thing, I think, the really important thing is to try and make your house as safe as possible by design features. Let me give you, I brought a couple of slides along, and we can perhaps illustrate what you can and cannot do with fencing. Now, the first slide, if we can have it up here, shows how a lot of people who live in inner city areas attempt to protect their house.
It might be more comfortable, Paul, if you have a look over there.
Okay. Well, if you have a look at that, that particular picture over there, the fence is very tall. It's not particularly aesthetic. You're not looking out at anything very good. That sort of fence allows a juvenile, for example, or two adults to climb on each other's shoulder, go over the fence and hide, and when in fact nobody can see into the house and people can't see out very well at all. So you've got no protection at all. That's not really very good security. If you're going to have fences, we suggest that you have fences which are about halfway height, not full body height, so that people can look into your house and you can look out. You can get some protection in that way. It's called surveillance. Let me show a house now on the second slide, which I think indicates how design features can make your house relatively safe. Let's have a look at the second house. Now, that's got an advantage, that house. It's up high, so you can see out if you own the house. It's surrounded by other houses, so neighbours, if you've got any sort of community going, can keep an eye on your house for you. People are afraid, I think, symbolically of entering your house because there's a differentiation between public space and private space, between public land and your land. What I guess I'm saying is that by good design features, you can make houses a lot safer. I'm not suggesting that all your audience goes home and chops down their trees or pulls out their shrubs. All I'm saying is that by the use of shrubs, by the use of trees which aren't too tall, you can deter people from taking the opportunity of entering your house.
Well, Paul, as a criminologist, I suppose you would know the answer to this. Can we curb crime, or can we just contain it?
Well, I think I'm pretty optimistic that by, in fact, designing houses and making them a lot safer and designing suburbs so that there is a sense of community, we can do a lot to reduce breaking and entering offences, which is the big crime in this country at the moment. I'm optimistic that we can do something about that. I have to give a plug in here, Bert, and say that on June the 16th, the Australian Institute of Criminology and the NRMA are having a conference on how to design out crime. We're doing that for architects and town planners. And we're also having
How to design what?
How to design out crime.
Oh, yeah, right.
By building safer buildings and safer suburbs.
And where's that, Paul?
That's in Sydney, and we're also putting out a book for average people, householders, telling them how they can, in fact, in their own house, reduce crime and the threat of people entering their house.
Well, good luck with June the 16th and also with the book, because it's something which is important to all of us. And I might suggest, if ever you want to look for a second career, I've never known anyone in all my years in television to be able to turn their head quite as far around without moving the shoulders.
I've got a rubber neck.
Well, you didn't see it on camera whilst you were looking at the monitor over yonder, and rather than over here. I mean, your head just moved. It was absolutely marvellous.
Criminologists have to have it.
Of
so
course.
They can see behind.
Eyes in the back of the head.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Steve. Paul Wilson. Back with you after this break.